most of you. But for those who don't know me, as Wen said, I'm Barbara. I started playing here at MDTTC when I was very young, when I was 7, and it was still in the same space. I played all through the experience of elementary school, middle school, high school, and then I went to college and I played in college. And I came back here to work in DC for a couple of years, and I came back and played, and then I moved to New York, and I've been in Chicago for the last 6 years. And so I've been playing like pretty much continuously, and have taken kind of like experienced table tennis from all the different viewpoints, but not as a parent. So I'm looking forward to learning from you about what it's like to have a child play. And today I'd like to share with you two main things. One, sort of these like hidden benefits of playing, that maybe you think about the benefits as kind of a child or like as your children, but what about the benefits after they leave the nest and go to college and in the future. The second thing I want to talk about is what I found to be super helpful as when you're developing as a player, and how can parents help support their kids when they're developing, because there's a lot of maybe like unknown stressors or things that kind of make you nervous. But really quick, I actually want to understand how old the kids, like your kids are. So like how many of you guys have elementary school kids? Okay, and what about middle school? High school? Okay, great. And then I also want to learn, would you guys like to learn a little bit more about sort of like day-to-day management strategies? And what about like the future impact, like your kids when they're in adult life? Is that something that's interesting? Okay, awesome. So I guess a couple of my introductions. I played here for a long time. I was on the U.S. National Junior and Cadet team for 5 years. So I made the inaugural team. So we were the first cadet team ever, and the first junior team ever. So we were sort of the first group that actually competed internationally for the first time. I also went to the World University Games at the same time as Nathan in 2011 when they were in Shenzhen. And I also played in the Olympic trials in 2008 and 2012 and finished 6th in 2012. And since then, I've also done live streaming, commentating for table tennis. I've like a lot of like stayed involved, and I can talk about those experiences as well. But first, I want to start with a story. So try to take you back to, I guess it was 2006, and I was at Nationals, and this time Nationals was in December. It was my senior year of high school, and I was also competing in the trials, and the day the trials was supposed to be was also the day I was hearing back from my first choice university. So it was a stressful day. If you can imagine, if you have kids who are preparing for college. And all I had in my mind that day was that I needed to make this team again. It's going to be my last year. This is the only thing I need to do. And it was like very stressful. So what happened that day? I got into my first choice college, which was great.
UPenn.
Yes, which was UPenn. But I didn't make the team. I lost in a 3-way tie in the group stage by 1 game, and I was really, really disappointed. I was like, just can imagine, I'm like a pretty happy person, but I was like crying under a table somewhere at Nationals, like really bad. And I kind of left that tournament feeling like I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I was very like guilty or like shameful, but really that was a turning point, because before I went to that tournament, I had these ideas about what table tennis was to me, and then after that tournament, everything was different. And that's what I want to share with you today, sort of what I thought was like the right thing to do, and then what I now know has like really changed table tennis for me. So I'm gonna write up my thoughts really quick, and then we can talk about some of those strategies and ideas.
And while she's writing, I also want to share my my kid's story with you guys too. Nathan was really training very hard. He actually started late. My second child is the one who really loved table tennis. He didn't actually come to train in Maryland until he was 9 years old. just think about all the kids who started before 9, okay? And also, he didn't have the best coaches when he started. We lived in Connecticut. Very few people play, especially kids. So we didn't have the best coach to start with, and we basically moved to Maryland because Nathan and John, my 2 boys, wanted to train hard in table tennis. John was almost 12. So for those people who says you cannot play table tennis when you get older, it's not true either, because it could be a lifelong sport. Okay, you may not be the number 1 in the world, but you benefit so much from it. So my child actually took 2. Nathan actually was training here when he was almost 9 years old. Okay, and luckily, after coming here for only a few months, he went to the U.S. Open, was able to get to the finals. I mean, that was like a surprise to us. But it just shows if your child really wants something, we have to be there to support them. And they'll be able to achieve what you don't think they could possibly achieve. So anyway, but the one thing though is you have to realize no pain, no gain. I mean pain, I don't mean physical pain. I mean like you're gonna have some tough losses. Sometimes when you train, your kids be like, oh, I'm tired, I don't wanna do it. It happens to everybody. But as parents, we really need to help them to persevere, right? If the goal is to help them do well in anything in life, you want them to be there to support when they're down. So I don't encourage, I don't like it when parents like get really angry with their kids when their kids have a big loss. Let's say for example. But we know already they try hard. Because we're there to support them, right? It's not life and death when they lose a match or important match. But the attitude has to be there. We have to tell them, even if we lose, we still should be saying, hey, you know what? There's always next time, as long as I try harder next time. What can I do better? I really do not want the parent to be yelling at their kids after they have a big loss. The kids feel bad already, okay? Now, if they don't train seriously, if they're lazy when they're training, then I'm agree. You should say something. You should, probably, pull your side aside, discipline them, whatever you need. But when they're playing the tournament, you're there to support them regardless of what the results. Okay? Anyway, Barbara, back to Barbara.
Okay. So since that time, I thought about sort of why do I play table tennis? I could have decided that that's it, too stressful, it's over, I'm not going to play in college, whatever. If I believed that table tennis was only about achieving things, it was only about that rating, that next tournament, that national team, that sponsorship, that next international trip. But it's really not. And I can tell you that the 6 months after that tournament, I actually achieved like a new high in rating, like some of my best tournament results. I felt free finally from the pressure. And I wondered, well, what if I felt this kind of happiness before? Like, what could I have been? So that's definitely something to really think about. I also, as one said, played more tournaments after that national because I felt kind of free to do it. Like I always felt like I'm scared to lose, and now I felt like I can do whatever I need to do, and I can be happy. And it's just like totally different feeling, and you'll see it in your kids. I felt different, And now, kind of after high school, there are no more things to achieve. There's not it's not like you're trying to hit a rating. You're kind of in college, and maybe you want to win the collegiate nationals, but you have a lot of other things going on. And so what keeps you going to practice in college, after college, when there's so many other things? It's like, I think it's if it makes you happy, if you want to go, if you have your friends, your community, and we'll talk a little bit about these hidden benefits. And also this happiness of doing something that's sort of bigger than yourself, that you're promoting a sport in the US that a lot of people don't know about, and you can be part of that. That's really exciting too. The other thing I thought about is what's failure? I thought I really screwed up at nationals, and I thought that losing was failure, right? but it's really not losing. Actually, losing is just like the shadow of success, right? So when you lose, if you lose, that's not failing. If you don't learn from losing, that's definitely not good because you're going to keep doing the same mistakes. And some of the tips I have for the parents is that you don't have to lose. It could just be a bad practice too. It doesn't have to be like a big thing at nationals. But kind of help your kids understand what's going on, like have them think critically about what's happening. And maybe even in your car ride home tonight, you can ask, well, how was practice today? You know, what did you do? What are you working on? Did it go well? Those are like conversations I think just have them thinking. I know I saw a lot of hands that you guys have some teenagers, right, who maybe don't want to talk to you about that. They're like, oh, my parents don't know anything. But I still think you can help them engage. And even if they don't want to talk to you, you can encourage them to talk to other people. They can talk to me. I'll give you guys my contact information. They can talk to me. They can talk to their peers just so they start thinking about it. Because the worst is if you plateau and you get stuck. Because you don't know what's wrong and what you're working on. And I also encourage you guys to take a little bit of control of that. You can say, oh, the coaches know everything, I'm just going to leave it to them, but you can also ask them questions, right? And just be part, like participate. I think that will really help and drive some of the development. So have those conversations and see what happens. Another thing is, like, how do you set goals? I think some of the goals that I used to set were really results-based. I need to make the national team. I need to achieve this rating. I need to like do this in this amount of time. But really, I think the goal should be behavior-based. Like, I need to develop my forehand attack. I'm going to use it every day this week. So I need to get better. I need to develop this behavior. I need to think about how I can win at 9-9 in the fifth, and then I'm going to try it, right? And be like experiment a little bit here. It's okay to experiment and try all these new things, because even if you lose, that's not the problem. It's if you don't learn, that's the problem, right? So really think about some of these behavior goals. I'm going to go to the tournament because I really worked on serve receive. I'm going to show everyone how good that is. Instead of being like, I'm going to go out and win under 2,000 this year.
Yeah.
That's my goal. And the last thing
I just interject quickly. That's why it's so important that if you, even after practice or after tournaments, your child writes a little reflection. You know, reflection of how did I do? Did I achieve what I wanted to do? Was I, you know, doing the things I wanted to do? All those things, little things makes a difference. We see actually the most improvement in kids who actually think about what they've done. Well, how can they do better? Right? Those are the kids who improve the most. Not necessarily the one who practice the most, even though practicing more is important. But it's up here. Okay? Yeah.
And my last thing is about how do you, like, what's table tennis really about, right? And when I think, I don't know, as like a teenager, I thought it was all about me and all about me getting better and like me doing things. But really, it's sort of this idea of this like rising tide lifts all boats. Like the group, if everyone in this group gets better, your kids will automatically get better, right? And how did this manifest with like me attitude when I was growing up? And I think it's kind of moving away, but it'd be like, oh, I only want to practice with someone better than me, right? Yeah. That I can win, right? But or I only want to practice with people who are like special in this way. I only want to play with people who are better. But really, like, that hurts in the long run a lot. Because then when you go play a tournament, you play someone worse than you, quotation marks, not really worse. Yeah. You don't really, the ball is different, everything's different. And so it's very hard to recover. So where I really learned this lesson was actually when I went to college. And I realized, well, college table tennis, first of all, we'll talk about this, is all team-based. So you only represent your school. But I didn't have all the practice partners. I didn't get to choose to play with people who are only better than me, right? And so you kind of learn that there's so much that other people can offer with like specific skills or just helping you mentally. And so that's something to definitely keep in mind. And also in other sports, that's why people in other sports tend to train together. When you think about elite runners or like anything basically, because they can help each other. And you guys are very lucky to have a community to kind of support each other and kind of go through that. So
Yeah, because table tennis in general hasn't been like that. Most of the table tennis that I've seen has always been about me, just like you said.
Me. Yeah.
And I see kids burning out, like after a few years intense training, I don't want to do it anymore. Or they're always look unhappy. They look like they're always unhappy when they're training. I'm like, why? Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's why it's really important what Barbara's saying.
Yeah. So these are sort of these like key ideas. I have some other content, but do you guys have any questions about how to like do this? Because these are things I realized everything here came after I left home and I went to college and I had all these pieces. Yeah.
So I'm concerned about the challenge of losing to someone in tournament that's lower than you.
Okay. Well,
I'm wondering like how to like if they're not on your team. So like I'm wondering like the last point, rising tide lifts all boats. That doesn't apply here. It's really the fact that we assume that we are better, and then we lose, right? So how can we like prepare ourselves? Should we like not look at the rating? Should we like just play our best? Every point counts. Like, what's the best way to deal with that problem?
yeah, that's a really good question. I think one of the things that's helped me, and I also had like rating obsession. I think I had like all the problems. I had all the problems. So I think one of the things that's helped me afterwards is one, sometimes it's helpful to not look. But sometimes it's helpful to know that even if they are more than 200 points away from you, I think statistically you're still supposed to lose like 20% of the time. I think that's like the statistics from like chess, which uses the same rating. You're still supposed to lose 20% of the time. It's not like you're supposed to win all the time if you're 50 points higher, 100 points higher. So just knowing that is very helpful, gives you perspective, right? And also, again, once you do lose, you can think about what happened. Because I think losing, someone exposed something wrong with your game when you lose. Either mentally or physically, right? And if you can like understand what that is, then you can set these goals and then like do everything to sort of put it together. But if you're still concerned with losing just because they're lower, you sort of like have like mental, like you sort of like lose yourself, like you don't forget how to play. So I think knowing the statistics helps. Yeah, and for me, I try not to look anymore. I say like everyone can beat me and I can beat anyone. So like let's just try, see what happens. Yeah.
And we do see a lot where kids look at the rating first and they psych themselves out. Like, oh, this guy's too hard. Oh, I'm not going to win anyway, so let's just forget trying. Or, oh, this guy's going to be so easy. So I'm going to be winning so easily, so why do I even bother preparing the best I can, right? So all those things are negative, which in our program, we keep saying, rating is just a statistic where on the average, at that particular time, that's what your rating is. But a lot of things happen. Even if your rating's high, there's statistically there's still a chance you'll still lose to the person, right? But again, table tennis is a styles thing too. I mean, you might be really good playing against someone who's really fast or someone who's really slow, but vice versa. You could meet a style where you have no like a pinhole that who just like keep like moving around, like I don't know what to do. You know, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of involved, and that's why table tennis is so great because there's more than one way to win. Right? So we have that's life. We have more than I look at the people who live in my neighborhood. Did we all go through the same thing to end up in the same place? No, we didn't. We all went through different experiences and we still end up in the same place. It's the same thing in table tennis. Right? You could go through all the different ways of training, all the different styles, you might still be successful. Every child has to find his or her own way. And Barbara is a good example. Like she found a way to realize, okay, what do I want from table tennis? And I think that's why a lot of times if you look at the application for TDP, we ask you, what is your expectation for your kids for playing table tennis? What is your goal for joining the TDP? You have to also communicate that with the coaches. so they can help you. There's the short-term goal and there's the long-term goal. The short-term could be, okay, so the next few practice, what are some of the things I want to do during the practice? Is 50% of the time getting that right? Is that good enough for me? Or am I aiming for 70, 80, or 90% of the time?
Have that conversation. Yeah.
Definitely have that conversation with your kid. Because the last thing is, I mean, my son went through a period of time where he said, I am good at every single skill. For some reason, when I can't put it together. I mean, it's tough putting it together.
Very different than practice, putting it together.
Yeah, and that's why TDP helps. Because we put them in situations where it's more similar to real situation in tournaments. If your child just only want to practice and don't want to compete, I don't think TDP is actually the best program for you. Because you can train without competing. But if you want your child to go through the process, experience of the competition, of getting to the next level where it's a more of a process, like I think this behavior thing you're talking about, for me, I think of it a process. If you have the right process, good results will happen. Or you'll be happy, let's put that way. Happiness will happen. But if the process of behavior is not the best possible for yourself, then you're not gonna be happy. You're gonna be like I said, going to the practice, like, oh, I'm practicing again. You know, that's not what we want for our kids, right? But anyway.
No, that's good. And just a couple things to maybe help you assess where your kids are in terms of, are they like in this column where I was for a very long time, or in this column, is maybe you can ask them today in the car, like, what are you trying to do next week in practice, right? And understand what their goals are. Have them tell you, I want to work on this, all right? Or I figured out something that's going wrong and I want to work on that. Or are they saying something like, I really want to be 2,000 by the end of the year, right? And just sort of help them kind of ask the right questions to get them there.
I also keep trying to remind the coaches, it shouldn't be a top-down thing. What I mean is, the coach tell you should do this, and you just go, oh, follow, I just do this, 1, 2, and 3. That's not what we want the kids to do. We want the kids to start thinking about what is it that the coach can help me, right? You have to put some responsibility on the player themselves. If you just go to every lesson thinking, oh, I'm just going to go listen to the coach and have them tell me what I should do, then that's not really learning. Learning is the person who's participating is actually doing something and not just someone giving you instruction and you just follow. So those kids who actually think about what is it I want to get out of each practice, those kids are the ones who actually improve the most. Even as young as 6-year-old, I mean, yeah. I mean, they can say, oh, I did this, I really have fun doing it. Or something, I want to get better at this, you know, just little things like that helps.
I hit my first 100 forehands, you know, or like I did whatever. Those are little goals to putting it all together. Okay, so I also want to talk a little bit, sort of a topic such about sort of the long-term benefits, what I've seen from table tennis after leaving the nest. And they're in like a couple categories. They're obviously like physical benefits, like functional benefits, and an emotional benefit. And I'll start with the really obvious. So I think the physical benefits, I don't know, exercise is hard when you get older and you have competing things to do. So it's been cool for me to have something that I like to do that I can do wherever I'm living somewhere else. So that's pretty obvious. I think the functional benefits have the most surprises. So I use table tennis in my college application. I competed in college, and a lot of people knew who I was because I played table tennis, and that was really helpful for like just random reasons, like, oh hey, are you that girl that was like played in these Olympic trials in Philly? I was like, oh yeah, that's me. Hi, what's your name? So that was super helpful in college. I also got some opportunities that I wouldn't otherwise have had. I coached the governor of Delaware's kids while I was in college in Philly, and he would send his like governor card to like Philly and come pick me up and I'd go to his house. It was good cash too for a college student. So that was super cool. I also got to meet Judah Friedlander, who's a comedian who's in 30 Rock, and we're like friends and like play with him. He's also from Gaithersburg, if you guys
Yeah, sometimes he drops by.
Yeah, he does drop by. And he's great. And also, it's a really fun fact to talk about, even in my consulting work, that people obviously ask me about it all the time. And it's a great way to like network inside my job even. And so I never thought that those were things that would be beneficial to me. And obviously the secondary effects are still related to table tennis. So commentating for butterfly tournaments and writing for Butterfly, did that for about 4 years. And I traveled to a bunch of 4-star tournaments around the country and ran kind of like the live interviews and the writing. And I don't think I would have gotten that if I kind of like dropped out from the scene. I also commentated for the Collegiate Nationals, so you guys want to talk to me afterwards about collegiate table tennis today. It's a really, really great event. So I can't go this year, but I went last year. And I did all the commentating for that. And I think those are some of the like really key benefits. I'm surprised how far it's followed me, and it's great for the emotional side. But I've moved around a lot, and table tennis has always been the thing that I do no matter where I live. So if I were here, I would come back and play here, and I'm so excited to meet all of you. It's like the new generation. And then when I was in New York, I played at New York Indoor Sports Club, and I actually played in their league, which is sort of like your DC area league, but for New York clubs, and like that's what I would do after work. It's very wholesome, I guess, because I would take the train out to Flushing from Manhattan, and I would play till like midnight, and someone would drive me home. And I met a lot of cool people that way, and it was a great way to make new friends. And same in Chicago. So in Chicago, I also played with the Northwestern team, and with just like met a lot of people that would otherwise not meet, and like different age groups, different socioeconomic statuses, kind of helps you see the world. So I thought that was sort of this emotional benefit. And it feels like no matter where you are, you have somewhere that's home. And so people know you, and you feel like you're free to just like be yourself. And that's really helpful when you're moving around. And I guess I just have one closing thought, and I'd love to take questions afterwards. Is that I think as a child, all you wanted to do, sort of like please your parents. So just encourage you guys to set the example and help them kind of believe in themselves. I think sometimes table tennis can be a little bit tough on your confidence because it's a game or a sport that you can win a lot and you can lose a lot. Maybe you lose for like a while, right, before you get better. So just continue to encourage them and tell them that you're not going to lose forever, right? And you make some of these changes that it'll be better. That's all I have. So thank you for listening.
Any other questions?
Hey ma'am, this is an awesome presentation. It's always inspirational to see somebody who's gone pivotal at both sides, play and school. This is awesome for an aspiring parent. Want to do the same thing. But my question, I have a couple. What's your major and what's your work function? Right?
Sure. So I majored in health and societies at Penn, and then I work in like management consulting, specifically for pharmaceuticals. I'm a pharmaceutical marketing consultant. Yeah.
But my main question is like, how did you balance study and play?
Ooh, good question.
I know. I think
A lot of
your
people's
parent,
mind, yeah.
your parent probably had a part to play in this process. I have an 8-year-old son who I'm trying to get in here. I drive from Philly every week
Okay, great.
to come
You
here.
drive all the way
Well,
from
Philly.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I know that
amazing.
drive.
Yeah, now it's become like a routine.
Yeah.
But my question, how did you balance it the early years, and when you actually got a hold of all these things, how did you balance it out? I mean, did it help playing in a table tennis tournament, or did they complement each other study and this? So sometimes failure
How do
here
you
will lead you
consider?
on.
That's a tough, great question.
Because I play as well. I sometimes when I am down here, I do good at work, and it helps inspire me to come back and play better. And same thing happens the other way too.
Yeah.
When I play well, I think I go back. And sometimes when I'm down at work, it helps me to motivate and do something better there. So did the same thing happen to
Yeah,
you
I
in
definitely.
study and?
I definitely
just
thought it
couple-
was complementary for
Yeah.
sure. So one of the things that happened when I
And
was
also one more
Yeah,
question.
go
Do you
ahead.
ever think about being a professional player at any point
for
in
like
time? Or
half
when
a
did you-
year, but then I decided against it for like half a year. So first question about the school and table tennis, because I know that's a big question. So I actually think super complimentary for me. One of the things that happened to me because I was on the national team was I missed a lot of school, like a lot. I think my junior year I missed like 6 weeks in the first semester, right? And that's a tough first semester to miss 6 weeks. I did a lot of homework at the club. I actually did a lot of homework on my plane rides, and I was very, I guess, like aggressive in telling my teachers, like, I have to leave for a week. Like, I'm gonna like read this by myself, and I'm gonna talk to your teacher, and we're gonna like take the test a week early. I'm just gonna do it, and then I'm gonna go, or I'm gonna come back and here's my plan. So I think it really helped my kind of like project management, homework management skills.
Time management is huge.
Yeah.
Success in life, you don't have time management, you have time management.
Yeah, and so it was just like kind of careful planning of when to do things, and just making sure I didn't spend any time just like, I don't know, like derping around on my phone or something, so I could just like.
The one thing she pointed out, I hope that all the parents know this, is that to be proactive with the teachers and the schools. Don't wait until the day before. Oh my gosh, I need to tell my teacher.
Yeah.
Tell them way ahead of time. You have a plan. This is what I need to do. Why am I doing it? You know, just like she said, I'm gonna read this on myself. This is the day I'm gonna do the test. You know, all that stuff. Have a plan ahead of time, as early as possible. Okay? As a teacher, former teacher and former principal myself, I love when someone comes up to me and say, I want to achieve this. I may be missing some things, but I'm gonna get it done before it's due. Or I'm gonna get it done, prove it. You have to show up, you have to, you know, to tell them what you're gonna do, and you actually do it. And so next time you ask, it becomes easier because they trust you, right?
Showing that you're on top of it is really helpful. The next question is, how do you get on top of it? And I don't know all of your kids, so I think for me it's because I was happy here and I really wanted to play. And so I had to figure out how to make that happen, right? And so then I kind of learned these time management skills so I could make it happen.
Did your parents play as well? Or?
Not really.
They were. This is what I heard from Jack.
A
Okay?
little bit.
Honestly, her parents are very hands off.
Okay.
As far as just think of it, this is what also I learned at the mistake I made, because I was trying to plan things out for my kids too much that I took away the opportunity for them to be proactive. So my husband had to pull me back and said, don't do that. Let them do it. If they fail once, next time they'll know better. And it's better that they fail early. It's much better when they fail when they're elementary school and they, let's say they miss a homework, that they get reprimanded, than to wait till high school.
Yeah.
By then it's too late. You want to get them a chance to fail early in life. Okay, that's the mistake I made a lot of years before I realized don't do it anymore. So don't do that to your kids. Give them a chance to fail so that they can succeed.
And they will make you proud.
They will.
They will make you proud. They won't just like, I don't fall on their face. I don't think so.
Yeah. Just think about how you succeed when you were growing up. Did your parents always like go after every single thing you do? Or did they let you breathe and let you make your own mistakes?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's a good point. What was your second question?
Did you ever think of becoming a professional player?
Oh yeah, I think for like a little bit. Yeah.
Was it hard getting out of that part?
I actually thought it was okay for me. I think in my senior year of high school I thought about it. And then I thought that I actually really wanted to go to college, so I just felt like it was like I wanted to go see what that was like. And that was a bigger pull for me. And I knew that I could kind of figure out table tennis in college, or maybe I could try college or maybe want like it or something else. But I wanted to go.
And also at that time, you have to realize table tennis has changed a lot the last few years.
Yeah, a lot.
Because to become professional back then, it's almost like impossible.
Right.
There's no support system. But we now have several athletes now who have turned professional, and they're actually doing it really well. So now that we have certain models, before we didn't, we had no one,
I
right?
didn't even know like exactly how to do it. I thought about it more like a Yahoo than I thought about it like a professional.
I mean, there are two types. Kanakja went through, like, he basically homeschooled part-time and then turned pro, right? That's one option. Or you can do the Lily Zhang's way, went through the entire school, finished college, and then turn pro, right? So there's more than one way of doing it, especially now that there is a pathway now. Before there wasn't. So time has changed.
It has changed a lot.
Yeah, but your kid has to want to do it. If your child does not want to do it, it's no point forcing them to do anything. So, but our job is to make sure, the coach's job is to make sure that if you feel like they really do have interest in continuing table tennis, what can we do as parents to support that? To keep them happy with doing what they're doing. And sometimes, sometimes for kids, winning is like happy.
Yeah,
I
the
keep saying,
achievement.
yeah,
Tricky though. Be
winning is
careful.
so that's okay. But just put it in perspective, right? Winning is great, it's happy, but everyone will go through a time where they start losing, and then that's when we really have to be there to support them, saying, hey, you know what? Think about if this is what you want to do. You might go through a tough time, but there are a lot of benefits besides just winning.
Yeah. Any other questions? And I'm happy to answer them like one-on-one later too.
How much did you practice? I want to know. I know the level is maybe higher now for some certain level, but back then, how much were you practicing?
I think at my max, absolute max, like 20 hours a week.
20 hours a week.
20 hours a week, absolute max. Most of my time was probably around 12, 15 hours a week. I think I remember it was like 3 lessons, like Friday league, I had like a camp on Saturday, and like a league on Sunday. It was something like that. So yeah, maybe like, and then I would practice with like one-off people, before lessons, after lessons, before.
See, that's the thing. The other thing is, if you don't want to do a lot of driving, right? What you do is a lot of kids now, once they get to a certain level, you can ask, hey, can you come, let's practice at this time, and then try to arrange it close to where your lesson is, or afterwards, right?
After, whatever
So,
you want.
it doesn't mean that you have to be one-on-one with the coaching, right? So now we have group classes, which is great, which we didn't have before. Now we have a team. So among your teammates, it's okay to call up. Hey, I'm going to be here at this time. Do you want to come earlier an hour to practice? Right? This is something that I think as a group we can help each other do. Before we didn't have anyone Nathan and John didn't have anyone to practice with, so they had to practice with the coaches. But that's not the case now, right? Again, it's not the level you practice, it's how you explain to them why is it okay to practice someone who may not be as good as you are in everything.
Yeah, because you can learn a lot from that, actually. You can learn how the ball feels different with someone who tech lower level than you. And you can have them practice certain things that they're really good at. Like maybe they're really good at blocking.
Yeah.
And so you just loop against them all the time, right?
Yeah.
And then you switch and there's something they want to practice and then you can teach them. I think that's super helpful. You can try out new serves with them. You can be risky. You can do whatever you need to do to workshop ideas.
And also, I think you told me once when you were actually practicing, because you're volunteering sometimes practicing with lower level players.
I got better.
She got better because she was able to control the balls more. I mean, just imagine the coaches are feeding ball to you. Very easy, I can hit anything. But if the opponent, the person you practice with is low level, that means every single ball you hit has to be precise. Otherwise, the ball's not coming back to you. Just imagine that. How much more control you'll have. And that's going to help you improve. Being able to control. Right? I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, it was. I did get better. And that was really cool. And there's so many things about just like making a friend and working together and
being happy.
Yeah,
if you have a group of people who are all working hard together, then you feel like you're not the only person who's doing it. You're like, okay, we're all doing it together. Right? So that's also helping your kids to continue playing and enjoy the sport.
Yeah, and even when I left MDTDC, I didn't have a lot of high-level players to practice with, and that's something you had to learn. Like, how do I even practice? And you just sort of learn that I need to practice these certain shots or these certain combinations, and these people can do that for you. And you can make a friend and teach them. It's fun. I would never say it's a waste of time.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not a waste of time. So, other questions?
I'm happy to talk. I don't know,
Feel
college
free.
apps,
Yeah, she'll
everything
be
else.
here. And feel free to get something to drink or a little snack, whatever. Okay? I'm so grateful that. In fact, Barbara is actually on the board of my foundation. She's on the board, and a Harvard medical doctor who also went through MTTBC for many years. She's also on the board. So having them on board also give me a lot of feedback on what is it that I need to think about when we started the program. So I want to thank you for coming today.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I'm gonna write my email and my phone number, and then you guys feel free if you have questions to contact me. Just say hello. Tell me how your kids are doing. Just waiting.
And Gwen had wanted me to ask you if there's anybody else who'd like to come in as a speaker. You know, maybe we can do this once or another time this semester. If you have any ideas and if you like this, then we won't do it every week or anything like that, but we'll do it maybe once again or even twice if we have to be here. So just let her know or he know. Next, Barbara's parents. Oh, Barbara's parents. Yeah. No, we're parents. That's a great idea. Other learners, that's yeah, true. I'll have to tell them that. Yeah. Other